Hey UK Bills Mafia, this is Christian Wade of your Buffalo Bills. This is the Red, White and Buffalo Blues, a UK Bills podcast with your hosts, Matt and Alex. Let's go Buffalo! Woo!
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Red, White and Buffalo Blues, a UK Bills podcast, Bills news with a UK twist. It's Victory Monday and we're 7-2 after a thrilling and entertaining win against the Seattle Seahawks. I'm Matt, that's Alex. Alex, how's your voice? You told me your voice was pretty much dead.
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, I was really animated watching Bills games, and it's weird when you think about it because all throughout the 2000s and 2010s, we were awful. I mean, what's there to cheer for, right? But there's that blind optimism that every Bills fan has for every season, and I was really into most of those games. The last few seasons, I've been pretty calm. Like games where we're supposed to win, if it doesn't happen, it's like, what are you going to do? Like, I've realized and learned that yelling at the TV doesn't really do anything, But yesterday was different. I think because of the opponent and the hype of this year and the level of opponent that we played just came together and brought me back to my 20-somethings. I did have to switch from beer to tea late in the fourth quarter because my throat hurt from yelling so much.
I was on the cider. On the cider for the game.
Yeah.
Nice roast dinner, nice cider, then a cider at halftime or for the second half.
What gets you going more? A huge offensive play or a big defensive play? What'll make you jump out of your seat? What'll make you, yell and scream about?
The last couple of seasons, I would have said defense, because our offense was actually was still a bit porous. They were still coming together.
But wouldn't that be? Sorry to interrupt, but wouldn't that be reversed then? If the offense is poor, when they make a big play, you're more excited, right?
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, no, you probably say that. You probably say it that way, but I think my biggest cheer was obviously last year's the defense, but now it's just now it's the offense. I mean, when I saw that the first three plays of that first drive and the touchdown, I'm thinking, fuck me, here we go. Let's put big numbers up. Yeah. Obviously, we put big numbers up, but I think it's offense that really at the moment is getting me all jump up, scream and shout, and all that.
For me yesterday, it was all about what the defense was doing. I don't know. It's something about being able to stop someone is like more interesting. It's hard for me to explain it. Why I'm saying a defense play over an offense play. It's just when we got to Russell Wilson, I think we haven't really been getting pressure. Russell Wilson, the Seattle offense is so good. Being able to stop them from doing something that they're so good at was just a lot more exciting for me. So the interceptions, the sacks, the fumbles was what really got me going, really got me jumping out of my seat yesterday. And I think that's really where I lost my voice more than the offense, because this offense versus Seattle's defense were supposed to score points, but to stop them was I think way bigger of an impact on the game. So that's really what got me going.
I think AJ Klein was the player in that game for me that actually that made me lose my voice. I mean, we've been belating him the last few weeks, and all of a sudden he comes up with what should be player of the week numbers. Was it 2 sacks, a strip fumble? I've got it down here. 5 tackles, 1 for loss, 2 sacks, 4 quarterback hurries, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, and 1 pass breakup.
Yeah. No, apologies to AJ Klein all around. And kudos to McDermott for really like showing his faith in him. To come out last week, horrible game by Klein, and to say he's resilient, we trust him, we believe him, and then to basically put so much pressure on him in this game, saying, "Hey, you have to make plays, or else we're gonna, give up points." Like, I don't want to say they put the game in his hands, but they trusted him after the last few weeks. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Negligent to a point, but it worked out, which is fantastic to say. Just overall, the whole team just showed up. I don't know why it was against Seattle and why it wasn't against the Chiefs. I mean, we played the Chiefs close, but the offense, I don't know what happened there. But here we have a team that everyone's talking about Super Bowl, and we were able to punch them in the face. You always talk about statement win. And, this shows that, this team can prepare for a big offense. We stopped Derrick Henry. We slowed down Mahomes. We couldn't slow down Russell Wilson, but we did. It's so weird. It's so weird.
Disrupted him.
He got his stats, but we got ours too on defense. It's usually those two things don't go together. If you get 4 turnovers, you're not also giving up 34 points, So it just shows how great Seattle is, but also how big our team as a whole showed up.
Yeah, I mean, we're 7-2 for the first time since '93. That season was a Super Bowl. I believe before that we were 7-2 the last few years before that, and again there was Super Bowl. So can you put it down to an omen?
Omen's a bad thing. Omens are bad, so let's not say that. I just worry because are people gonna say, yeah, but Seattle's defense is bad? It just seems like with the Buffalo Bills, people always have something to say that's stupid. I mean, look at Seattle's defense today compared to what they have been. They had more guys on that defense. I mean, they had 7 sacks. Jamal Adams came back. Carlos Dunlap was playing his first game with them. They went out to fix their defense, got players who made plays, and we were still able to punch them in the face. So for anybody to say, oh, well, the Bills beat a really soft defense, like, you know what? This is the most points, the most passing yards that not the most passing yards, but the most points that Pete Carroll has given up since he became a Seattle coach. Hello.
And Sean McDermott's got as a head coach.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't a fluke. This is an offense for the Bills who did everything right. I mean, Allen, 81.6% passing?
Yeah. 400 yards, 418 yards.
And he's had games like this before this season, so you can't say this is a fluke because Seattle's defense is so bad. This is a really good offense, and our defense showed a little bit of their flash from last year, and that was a complete victory. Anybody doubting this team now can literally shut up.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Allen, in the first half alone, he had 282 passing yards and 24 completions. Yeah. That's the most by a Bills quarterback in the first half since 1991.
Yeah. No, for what we've been able to put together, it's such a testament to the coaching staff and more importantly, to Allen's core. It could be easy to rely on your instincts. But Allen has taken coaching and he's taken preparation. He's done everything to take what he can do and form it and shape it into, just success.
Yeah. I mean,
a lot of people, media pundits have said you have a 3-year arc for a wide receiver because they have to learn nuances. For quarterbacks, you're usually who you are. You know, I mean, what quarterback was awful his first year, but good his third year? I mean, Russell Wilson was great his rookie year. Mahomes was great his rookie year. Lamar Jackson was great his first year starting. Aaron Rodgers was good his first year. You know, Tom Brady, you know, his career has been really up and down in terms of average, really good average, really good average. He's never been bad.
Yeah.
But, I mean, for a quarterback to start bad and then get good, it's a rarity in the NFL. And it's a testament to everybody in the front office, training staff, coaching staff, and Josh Allen's mental fortitude to be able to become what he is today.
Yeah, because I mean, 31 for 38, 418 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, a rushing touchdown. First quarterback in Super Bowl era with 400 passing yards, 3 plus touchdowns, no interceptions, and 130 plus passer rating in multiple games. And the first Bills to actually do that in history.
It's pretty interesting that lately on our shows, you're the more stat guy and I'm the more emotional guy now. Whereas when we first started, it was the other way around. I think that's because I relied on stats to make me optimistic about this team, but now they're really making me feel it, and it's dangerous territory because I've given my heart to this team before, and they've smashed it. So let's just hope that everybody else out there that's really let the Bills into their heart.
It shows how much he's actually he's improved. I mean, who holds the single season record for completion for the Bills?
Kelly Holcomb.
67.4. Yeah, 67.4% in 2005.
Oh, I was guessing. Allen, that's fantastic.
Josh Allen at the moment is 68.9.
Okay.
I don't know that I haven't got the stat for Jim Kelly on there, but it shows how he's actually developed. I mean, he's actually the only player in team history apart from Jim Kelly in '94 to actually attempt 35 passes and tally an 80% completion percentage. Jim Kelly with 82.9 against Detroit in '94. So you just shows, as you said, the coaching, his application and all that to improving, and the year on year you're seeing that progression has really helped. And obviously having DeWall for 3 years, having Ken Dorsey there for 3 years, having Matt Barkley there for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Or so, that continuity around him, obviously Jordan Palmer in the off season, having that continuity around him really has helped him step up. And maybe sometimes he'll throw the hero ball, he'll keep the ball for a little bit too long when you're probably screaming at the TV saying, throw the fucking ball away.
Yeah, especially after a week where he gives up, where he lets himself get sacked 7 times.
Even though he does that, I was still there. I was still back at heaven and just seeing the trajectory that he's actually gone. And I think this offense last night, we saw pretty much our first 4-week offense. Our offense for the first 4 weeks decided to come back for a good game. And it shows that not just that Seattle got a poor pass defense, but we actually we have the weapons all back, all fit and healthy, hopefully, that we can play week 1 to 4 football for the rest of the season.
Without a bad third quarter. We had the third quarter woes in the beginning of the season. This was a complete game. I mean, there's so much to talk about. So let's get into the details of it.
Statement game. It was we've talked the last couple of years about statement game. This is our statement game. So let's dive into it and let's see what we can
to stay on offense. I mean, to stay on offense, I just want to talk about how very important John Brown is to this team. Without John Brown, teams can focus on Diggs, and even though Allen was targeting Diggs while Brown was out, Brown opens things up for this team. when a team plays zone against a John Brown-less Buffalo Bills, Allen struggles. But with Brown in there, he stretches the zone, and he's able to find Diggs underneath. He's able to hit Beasley. He was able to hit his running backs.
Yeah.
It's when Dable has all of his toys at his disposal, he's able to be the best play caller he can be. Maybe there's a little bit worry that, when a piece is out, he can't put it together. But I mean, just looking at 8 of 11 for 99 yards from John Brown, where he's been kind of hobbled, just a massive, step up game from him. There's not a single person on this team that I can complain about. Still staying on Dable, the 3rd and 16 wide receiver screen. Seattle's blitzing. They've been doing it all game. And just for them to bring everyone and for Allen to be able to have the composure to make that throw on the mark, usually under pressure, those short passes from Allen, he's usually off a little bit, but he put it in the exact right spot for Brown to just zip. It was beautiful. So just Dable, Brown, Allen, just so many A+ marks in the game.
Yeah, I mean it's testament to him being in the booth, Double, because the way he adjusted, he knew Seattle were going to come out and actually blitz you. The way he actually started to filter in a few more screen games. I mean, there's a couple of times I thought, oh shit, he's going to be sacked for a big loss again.
Yeah, Moss had a fantastic screen catch and run.
Yeah, that he's actually it's showing that he's actually he's actually now adapting, and obviously, hopefully, Leslie Frazier on the other side is actually doing the same. I mean,
yeah, we'll talk about the defense because I have a lot of praise for Leslie Frazier being able to do things differently this game, but staying on Allen for me, it was, it's weird because I like to toot my own horn. I do. I like to say, remember when I said this and then they did it? Allen.
Remember when I said we'll beat the Seahawks? We did.
Allen was composed in the pocket all game. He only had 14 rushing yards. He stood in there, took sacks instead of trying to get weird. No turnovers. He kept his eyes downfield. He trusted his receivers. He didn't at all have a moment of hero ball in him. He just trusted the process. He, stayed true to the plays. He threw a lot to receivers who, weren't glaringly wide open. He made a lot of scramble throws just on the mark. He played smart, and that was one of the things that he maybe hasn't done in the 2 losses and last week maybe. So just kudos to him. Under pressure with the family tragedy, the dude came in and was focused, and just so many great things to be able to say about Josh Allen.
Yeah, I mean the whole. I mean, when was it? Ford went out, Winters went out. Obviously, Winters came back. When Darrell Williams went out for a couple of plays, when all 3 of those were out at the same time, I thought, oh fuck, here comes a turnover and all that. But you've got to credit that obviously what he actually can do, not just with his hands, but with his feet and his ability to move around. And obviously how well this offensive line and the backups are actually doing in pass protection on there. Because I mean, what was it? Yeah, I think every wide receiver that was actually listed in on the roster for the game actually got a reception and receptions.
Wasn't it Jake Cumro that we called up? He didn't have any offensive snaps. Did
he?
Yeah. But I mean, okay, right? I mean, I'm not going to complain about that, right?
Okay. The main.
He was able to spread the ball around him. It's weird that you saw a game where Knox comes back and doesn't make a play, but I think that just might be what we have in Dawson Knox going forward. He was really flashy last year, but also really inconsistent, and I think that's kind of who he is. So fingers crossed that Dawson Knox can have the same kind of career projection that Allen has, where starts shaky and kind of gets himself set, because we really,
I think
just
I don't
having a
think
tight end changes the whole offense,
I don't think his collegiate career actually helped him a lot. So at Ole Miss, he barely caught any passes.
And it's weird that we would take a guy that had that kind of, impact. He's definitely a project, and I think that the Bills will stick with him. Mostly based off, the financials, but
at least we've got Croft as a backup, and he's really coming
1A,
to the
1B,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, ideally, I would love to see it. It's not going to happen for us to get out of Florida, Kyle Pitts. I mean, the dude is a monster tight end.
Yeah.
He would be. Think probably, I don't know. Think Kelsey and Gronkowski put together.
Oh, come on.
He's got characteristics of both.
You can't say he's going to be a Hall of Famer without playing it down in the NFL.
No. I don't mean he's going to be a Hall of Famer. I mean, take what Kelsey can bring and what Gronkowski can bring. The characteristics.
So they're both massive human beings who have muscles where you didn't even think. Speed and strength.
He's definitely athletic. He's the number one tight end in the draft.
Yeah,
he could go top 10.
Well,
to be honest,
we won't be drafting there. So
yeah, but no, it's
staying on the offense. Another really important thing that I wanted to talk about was Dable being able to get Allen going early. In the first quarter, he was 13 of 15, and I've talked all season. If you can build confidence, you're going to play better. Allen starts against New England. He was 0 and he was like 2 for 8 to start the game or something like that. So in this game, they were surgical. They were smart with how they started and built up, what their game plan was. And you got to say his signature play was the 2nd and 27. Here we are fighting back against Seattle, trying to come back. 2nd and 27. Oh shit! If we punt and Seattle scores again, what the hell is going on? Let's not have another Rams game. But 2nd and 27. Gabe Davis runs a fantastic route. Allen throws it over the DB, wide open. Like I said earlier, surgical. 39 yards. That's a Pro Bowl quarterback making a play.
Yeah. And that was actually a touchdown, not out of bounds, as the officials actually called. I don't know why McDermott didn't change that, but
well, did you hear what did you listen to? Did you watch it on Sky or did you watch the US feed?
I watched on Sky.
Okay, so the US feed, they said something like McDermott is like 3 for 12 in challenges. So I may be a little gun shy there. I didn't know that stat. That bothers me because you want a coach who can make decisions like that. But it's not that those things don't come down to the coach. There's someone watching replays up in the booth that missed that. It didn't matter. Yeah. Luckily, thank God, we can move on.
Did at any point in that game did you think, oh shit, it's a Rams all over again?
Oh yeah, multiple times. But the best thing about it was that when we couldn't pressure Jared Goff, we were able to get into Russell Wilson's face. So we can move on to the defense here. 17 QB knockdowns, most against Russell Wilson in his career, most in the NFL this season. Who saw that coming?
Yeah.
We talked about what could the Bills defense do in our pregame show. What could the Bills defense do to possibly slow down Russell Wilson? And I started to say we need to disguise and try and confuse him, but it's Russell Wilson. Nobody can confuse him. But that's exactly what we did. We disguised our blitzes. Yeah. We changed up our packages and coverages, and we were able to just get in his face all game. It was chef's kiss.
Bar the fourth quarter and the garbage time plays by Wilson, that defense sort of reminded me of the Kansas City game, where we actually limited Mahomes as best as possible on that. I think they employed that in there, which actually worked to effect. And obviously, the ground game for Seattle didn't really take off that much. So it shows that you can give teams game plans for it. I mean, no one else actually managed to hold Seattle or put many points on Seattle. Not many. I think that's the lowest or joint lowest touchdowns that Russell Wilson's actually thrown this season. He's been throwing 3-4, 3-4, 2, 3-4, 2 touchdowns a game.
I don't think he's had less than 2. So, so in this, it's so weird that we're talking about how good we feel about the Bills' defense when they gave up 419 total yards. Wilson had 390 and 2 touchdowns. DK Metcalf went over 100. You read off those stats and you say, "Oh, yeah, we probably lost." But
yeah,
it's making big plays, kind of outside of the game script. The fumbles, the turnovers came at such integral moments in the game. It's like McDermott and Frazier, their backs were up against a wall, and they said, our defense needs to show something. If we can let Russ kind of throw it here and there, but kind of let him feel comfortable, but then on big plays, on important plays, we'll get after him. I mentioned in the post-game show, they're one of the worst teams on third down. Oddly enough, same thing again. Would you imagine that a team that went 3 of 12 on third down only punted once? Sometimes stats are weird.
Yeah, no, exactly.
You know,
I think it is testimony that we've actually that something's happened, whether they've actually had to kick up the arse in the last couple of games, to actually have that. What we can say is a statement game. Yes, Seattle's the whole team, especially defense, it was a statement. Make a statement, make it right, find a way. They did it. They found that way. They've got they came out there with a W. Obviously, shame that Arizona couldn't beat the Dolphins, but
it makes me feel better about next week's game.
So by the end of this, we could be 8-2 and pretty much secure. I mean, at the moment, we're number 3 seed.
Yeah, I mean, I had both these games as losses. So if we could, I mean, splitting was so important to being able to now, like a week ago, I was like, oh, this is an 11-5, 10-6 team. Now we're a 12-4 team.
Yeah.
Possibly even be 13-3. Holy shit. I mean, like the Steelers are the only team that I really think could beat us, and they just barely beat Dallas.
Yeah.
So, that's the crazy thing about the NFL. The ebb and flow of it all. Anything, your expectations can change after 1 week.
And the Panthers nearly caused an upset over the Chiefs.
Yeah, that would have been great. I would have loved it if Dallas won. I mean, I just like games where, the team that's supposed to get steamrolled shows up and then they hang on, but, quarterback problems, I mean, you can't overcome that, but I mean, staying on this team, you see an offense like Seattle coming to town. What do you think? Let's just drop guys back. If they're going to throw it, let's drop guys into coverage. Let's play a deep zone. Let's try and, just get some pass defenses. But I mean, just the aggressiveness that we saw was probably the ballsiest thing that this Bills defense has done all year. I want to know that this is what we're going to do all season. I would love to get our sack numbers up, our QB hurries up. I would love to get, we've been blitzing all season, but just this week it worked. So let's hope that keeps happening.
Next week,
it changes the dynamic and the feel about how the Bills Mafia feels about their defense.
Yeah, I mean, next week, and we'll talk about this in the preview show. Next week is going to be a hell of a lot different with Kyler as the quarterback on there. But
I don't know. I mean, he's a little bit older, but Russell has the ability to scramble as well. Arizona's calling more design plays, but if you pressure him on the edges, if you contain him and pressure him in the pocket, not on the outside, then you're gonna get to any quarterback.
Yeah,
I
mean, it's good. I mean, the team really stepped up. I mean, when Trey White came off that play, Dane Jackson came in. He was straight up against DK Metcalf. Ball went straight to Metcalf. Was about a yard or two gain, and Jackson actually pretty much stopped him right there. So it's shown how everyone's now really accomplished and actually set up for it. So it's hope. Long may this continue. Long may we actually get this get the defense back from the last couple of years, and we get our week 1 to 4 offense back for the rest of the season, and we can, we can go 12, 13. Hell, we could even potentially go 14-2. It's not beyond the realm.
That's crazy, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. Final notes before we get to the fan questions. I'm worried about the O-line injuries. I'm worried about Trey White. I'm tempering my expectations for next week because if you want to think long-term, a loss against an NFC opponent's not that big of a deal. And let's get these guys healthy by week after. So this might be a game where you want to win every week. You want to go out and do your best. You want your best players on the field. But with what we're aiming towards, healthy players down the stretch is more important. I'd like to, not rush anybody back.
Yeah, I mean, the guys that came in did well. I mean, I think our pass protection is up there with the best of them on there.
Can you say that though? 7 sacks. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but most of them came when Allen was holding on to a little bit too much. I mean, I'm watching the game now. I'm watching the highlights, so I'm flipping in between. And some of the plays, yes, there were sacks, but that was when Josh started to scramble, started to move around a bit more.
Yeah.
When he had time and he was actually moving, they weren't touching him. The defense were holding out. So as soon as Allen started moving around, that your offensive line there going, where is he? Trying to move around with it.
Yeah,
it's
that's always tough. That's always tough. Yeah.
Putting them off guard a little bit. That's probably the reason why he's actually taking a little bit more stats. If they know he's staying in one position, they've got their set, so they can then mirror what the defense is doing. So I still think they're one of the best, probably one of the better passing block teams.
Oh, I agree with that. It's just that yesterday is an issue with having too many backups. But hit me with some fan questions.
Well, I said there's going to be no negative. I want to put one more negative in before we go.
All right.
Penalties. Some of those penalties we had in this game really extended the drive for Seattle, and they got a fair few points off of those penalties. Some of them stupid. Some of them were, why the hell did we get the call for them when they did the exact same thing and they didn't get punished?
Yeah.
So that's my only moan on there is that.
I get that. Had a little technical difficulty there. I get the penalties. I think this is who we are, though. On defense, you're going to be aggressive. You're going to take some penalties. The offensive line, they take some pre-snap penalties. It's not something that you can fix on a week-to-week basis. This is something that
I'm not too worried about the pre-snap. I'm not too worried about the pre-snap. I'm talking about the legal contact after 5 yards. I mean, and all those ones actually during the game.
With who you're playing against, I mean, we were able to stop Lockett. That was great. But with Metcalf, you got to get handsy with him. So that comes down to that. There was Hughes got a roughing the passer penalty, which was weak. Allen got smacked in the head and there was no roughing the passer penalty, but you do it where are you supposed to put your hands,
Exactly.
So, the NFL is going to protect their MVP. Josh Allen's a star right now too. So let's get some calls our way as well. Come on.
Exactly. Right. Okay. Fan questions. Right. It's Matthew Thorne on Twitter. Where's the UK Super Bowl parade going to happen? But seriously, what changed for Klein today? The man turned up big time.
I think it's really important when you have a bad game and everybody says that they still believe in you. it's like one of those things where, like, you have a bad game, you feel down, but when everybody rallies around you, you kind of pick yourself up. And then you say, if they believe in me, then I believe in me. And then he went out and fucking had his best game of his career, probably. So, that team dynamic that we all love about this group that we have, pick each other up, hold each other up, lean on each other, trust one another. That's the team that we have. So if someone has a bad game, everyone's going to rally around him, and that player is going to probably have a banger of a game the next time he's out.
Yeah, and the UK Super Bowl parade, well, that'll be COVID dependent. If we're allowed a gathering, but probably around March time. Try and get a few pubs on the go for a little bit of a
COVID regardless. All right, we're getting together for playoff games. Okay, we're gonna make it happen.
Somewhere or another, we'll work on that. But yes, next one from our good old friend Dave Thorpe. He says, more than a request and a question, but can we play like this every week? Pretty please. Hashtag go Bills. What a game, what a result. Anyone being negative after that game needs meds.
It's really important to understand that even though our defense gave up yards and points, not every other NFL offense can do what Seattle can. So if we're able to get the same kind of pressure we got against Russell Wilson against literally any other quarterback on our schedule, we're going to probably easily defeat them.
Yeah.
This is the offense this is the defense that we've been asking for, and we finally got it, and let's hope it continues.
Yeah. Okay. So this one, you probably know this probably a bit more better because you were explaining this to me in the pre-show before we came on the air. From Chris Spencer, if the Bruce Dixon was a coach or GM of this team, what is the cowbell of the team that he wants more of?
So I understand what you're asking, more cowbell, right? So I won't worry about the Dickinson thing because that's Iron Maiden, but cowbell is Blue Oyster Cult. But anyway, I sound like my dad, 70s rock, 80, yeah. This team, I think, doesn't really have that dynamic. This is a team. You're looking at Diggs getting 100 yards every game, sure, but Allen is spreading it out. The defense, they're going to be successful. We're going to say a few guys' names, not just one. If there's anything that I could say that we missed was did Devin Singletary even suit up?
Yeah.
You got to imagine, the offense is rolling and you're on the sideline, but I think McDermott's done so much to talk team that everybody was okay with their performance because the team got the W.
Phil Parry, was this win or the victory over the Patriots more of a statement victory?
Well, for Bills fans, beating the Patriots is so important, but they're a bad football team. Beating one of the best teams in the league, that's the statement win. I mean, last week you had Rex Ryan on Sunday NFL Countdown on ESPN picking the Patriots because the Bills were coming into that game kind of down. Didn't score a touchdown against the Jets. This week, after beating the Patriots, Rex Ryan talked about how the Bills are building something, and he picked us to win. Not many people in the media picked us to win.
Yeah.
Rex fucking Ryan did. So, I mean, you want to call this a statement win more than anything that we faced this season.
Yeah. Ian K. Is Josh's performance an indication that his shoulder's getting better or an indicator of how bad the Seahawks past D is? I think we covered this a little bit, but...
Well, Allen didn't play with the sling this week. And obviously your opposite shoulder doesn't really play into it. But I think what Allen did with the injury was run away from pressure and that took him off his game.
Yeah.
Feeling 100% healthy, you're like, all right, I could take some hits. Let me stay in there. Let me trust my receivers. So that's what he did.
Tom Walters, are we becoming too much of a one-dimensional team with no run game? Eventually, teams will shut down Allen.
It's weird that you say that because last week we won by running the ball.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll said in his post-game show, he was like, we didn't expect them to pass that much. If they were going to run the ball, we had a lot of good stuff designed to stop them from running the ball. Kind of makes you think that Pete Carroll didn't watch more game tape than just last week, because obviously last week wasn't who we are as a team. Dable said we're a passing offense. But last week we showed we can run when it's necessary to do so. Think about the Bills' offense as being able to attack what you do worst.
Yeah.
That's going to be a victorious offense.
I think it's not. I don't think we're becoming one-dimensional. I think it's game by game. You're game planning for it. If you're if you know you can beat the team through the air, you take all your opportunities, throw through the air, put your run game in here and there. If you know the conditions or the team are good and are bad against the run, you're going to run that ball. It's game by game what you actually how we approach it.
Yeah.
And the last one is from Phil Parry. No, it wasn't Phil Parry. We've already done Phil Parry. Let's go back there. From David Pope. So what's our retort to the so-called pundits that all predict a Seattle win?
Enjoy the L. All right. Myself included, I picked Seattle to win. I said I hope I'm wrong. So I was. So thank God. I'm happy I was wrong.
I got it right.
Picking games is so weird. Pittsburgh was favored how many points against Dallas? Seattle was favored +3. I've had them beating the spread there. I'm normally going to lean on the spread, but I knew it was going to be a high-scoring game. It definitely was a track meet, and we were able to keep up and make a few defensive plays. I mean, I can't talk enough about how beautiful and how complete of a win that was for us.
Yeah. No, it is what it is. I mean, it gives us confidence going into the next game. One more game by week, so one more game to actually to win. So we go have a good feel good factor going into the bye week. Before we end it, I'm just going to make a quick announcement. I did tease a little bit on Twitter last night. Is that we're going to be having a raffle coming up. It's a signed Andre Reed jersey.
I want that
fully with certificate of authentication and all that.
Awesome.
It's going to be 40 slots available. £4 a ticket. I'm going to put all the details up when I get that sorted later on today.
All right.
So get involved for a nice little piece of unique history.
Yeah. I mean,
nice little urn to frame and put on the wall. So keep an eye out for it. As soon as it comes in, get your numbers in, and we will hopefully do the draw, hopefully live on a show, maybe.
That sounds fun.
If not, we'll just have a nice little YouTube or Twitter video for it. But no, it's a good prize. I've seen the prize. It's really worth the money alone. So keep an eye out and get involved in that. And if there's anything else you want to add, no. So it's keep following us at UK_Bills, at RWBB_podcast, at UK_Bills on Instagram, Buffalo Bills UK on Facebook, Buffalo Bills UK on YouTube. Hit subscribe, hit follow, hit like,
hit share. Let's grow the Bills Mafia.
Hit share, hit the like button, hit the retweet button, hit the reply button, hit any button that promotes us and actually gives us more exposure. And for me, that is Alex. And we say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for listening. and go Bills.
Go Bills.
Make some noise now. Let's go. Make a run. No more. Bills on 3. 1, 2, 3. Bills.